but they don't understand the pattern we're in. So what do? They go to the next best thing. If you don't know what you're doing, you go into the indicators. And it gives you a small, you know, view of what the market's doing. And a technical trader that's just using indicators right now is saying, okay, I'm about to be able to short the market because we're about to have a 20 cross the 50. That's very bearish in the 30-minute time frame. So in the 15, we've already had these crosses, 20 cross 50, 100, the 5-minute. It's all fucked. See, everything's backwards now. So you got short-term moves, long-term pull-downs. Julie? Oh. Cat wanted in. Yeah. But really, the only thing we can pay attention to, we're in a bull flag right now. We really are. It hasn't broken down yet. But the immediate short-term pattern. Yes. In your patella? I mean, so that's that's on your kneecap, within your kneecap, by your, you have your PCL, MCL, ACL in that area. But then you've got your cartilage, you've got your meniscus in that area as well. It could be. So if you don't break this uptrend, you'll be fine. You can continue this in a somewhat of a parabolic push, and then you just push up to here next. You really would. But what do I always say? X marks the spot, and if this pulls down, we're going to be starting to pull down. And the 2-hour time frame, C-Dub said. Yeah, I mean, if you hold the 20-day and the 2-hour time frame, it's very bullish. So, I mean, this could be the beginning of a pullback up, because to me it doesn't feel like it's going to be done. Mr. Crothers, what is the knee question? Julie, what's your knee question?
It felt like it was going to give out on the side.
She said her knee felt like it was going to give out on the side.
On my left leg.
On her left leg, her non-injured leg. So she has to overcompensate on that leg a lot. About J. Wright, thanks for the 50 bits. I didn't even realize that. I really appreciate that. Pizza Breath, welcome in. Bear cracked me up as well. Scrooge, what's going on? Long time in the house. Welcome in. G-Cuts, welcome in. If that's not a head and shoulders, that is yet to make the big drop at some point. Well, the only thing it could be is if it holds this right here and we actually have a push back up, C-Dubs. This could be one of those dreaded fake M-topping reversals that are designed in a bull flag, and then it just comes up here and actually finishes the pattern, then comes down. I could see this play out as a big left shoulder, but to me, I would love it to be a head and shoulders. I would love it, but for some reason, these market manipulators like to dick us, and when it should come down and create something like this, what ends up happening? Somehow a pump of volume will come in, and then all of a sudden it'll steer up, steer down, and then we'll be like, oh, well, guys, on left shoulder, I mean, okay. Overcompensation on the other side kind of makes sense. Yep. That's what he was saying too, Julie. The overcompensation makes sense. Julie? He said the overcompensation would make sense. Why you could get that feeling. Yeah. Works at a hospital. In Maine. So, I mean, that's it, yeah. But that's the only other option, C-Dubs, is if it does that. Otherwise, yeah, I mean, what else could this possibly do? It's in a rising channel. And I mean, just from, I can just put this part of it for Bitcoin. I don't want it to go higher, C-Dubs. I'm just playing devil's advocate, just in case somebody's like, what are the alternatives here? That's the only alternative. Otherwise, that's playing off as a head and shoulders. I want it to drop, but the market manipulators have no soul, so they just keep pushing it up until finally... Close but no cigar. It's just we've got to break the in the 2-hour time frame. This is like your pivot point. You have to break the 200-day. I mean the 20-day and the 2-hour. You have to. That's just a big pivot level because that's the technical traders, and they're always told on the 2-hour, if it holds the 2-hour, you're fine. So what do you guys think in the audience? Does Bitcoin hold here? So my question is this play off? It's kind of like a topping reversal, and then it could come through and do something like that as a head and shoulders pattern, right? Or is this going to dick us and play as a left shoulder and then come up here and then do the same thing and back test? Because the other thing is if it did hold here and came up here, you could come down here, back test here, and completely validate a right shoulder and then come down. And then you'd actually get within the inside-out wedge that's formed, re-back test and come down. So, which way can it play? Either one can happen. Either one. Yes. Sean, it is hot. It was 90. What did it go up to today? 94, Julie? Or 92? It went to 96? What's the temperature? Yeah, it got up to like 90, 92 today. It's 84 lovely degrees still with 44% humidity. Let's see, typically the... But yeah, Sean, it's definitely hot here still. C-dubs, typically they will do 3 spikes in liquidity flush. Feel like they're on 3.5. I know. They're definitely pushing it. They're definitely pushing it. FC Top Gun. I bought 50,000 H-bar, so I hope it goes. Ooh. My guy. How long ago did you buy that? Or did you buy it after this recent push-up? It's out everywhere. It's 100. Oh, God. You're right, Jay. Right. Daily Independent 100. Oh, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy, Julie. 106 and 103 where a couple people live. 90 degrees in Maine. It's getting hot there, too. Wow. So that's what we're looking at. We're really looking at this area. And then when you break it down in terms... We'll go back to Bitcoin. Don't worry. Because I'd like to do more Bitcoin on here. Look at XRP. XRP's falling through a critical level on the 2 hours. So, is XRP out of Bitcoin? That's a good question. And now look, a fall through here, a back test, anywhere in here even, and you could completely see the top. Once it falls through this channel, that's bad. I think XRP's ahead now, though. Who's just said that and stole the words right out of my mouth? About J right, I agree. I 100% agree. It feels like it's ahead. What's XLM doing? Ooh. Whoa. XLM made a hell of a push here in not too long of a time period here. Although, XLM could be over pushed. Hey, FC Top Gun, I've been talking about H-bar secretly being an ISO coin for a while. But yeah, it's not that I don't want to cover it more, it's just that for whatever reason I don't. I get too caught up in some of the other stuff. But yeah, H-bar is definitely one that we covered. Especially when I own it again. $582-655-4. Oh boy. Where's H-bar? H-bar looks exactly identical to XLM. Except the formation didn't come down farther. Look how far down this is. These are definitely completing bearish divergence. Could it come back up here? Sure it can. It could come up. For some, you better hope it does. You know, bounced up here. Let you see what's going on in the market. Let's see. You know what? I got to draw this out. I think I already have it drawn out in longer time frames. Yeah, see, we haven't even been able to draw this pattern the whole way out. But if we come from just a slightly different perspective, it'll make it a little easier for some to realize. That's basically, you fall through here, you're screwed. That's like your oh shit moment. If you fall through that support, it's a lot of trouble. Because then you'd have to play the pattern in this way. That's interesting. How far could you possibly go in this direction? Not much farther. So I chose to do it more like this because it gave it a more realistic look. Even though we're getting pretty far down here now. But in the immediate short term, you could draw it to slightly different, obviously. You have something like that, but I don't know. This looks very bad to me. Because that's where you would have wanted. And this was the pattern it was in. And then it broke down. So, what are we really doing here? What are we really doing? We're really just trying to come back test this because, let me take this out. If you look at the real pattern, we're just coming up to back test. So a real back test could come all the way up to 11.9 if it wants, but it's going to be hard as hell to get there. Real hard to get there. You probably got a better chance of it coming down to 0.09 at this point than 12 cents. But, I mean, a consolidation like this, and then a failed cup and handle would be devastating. If you could somehow make a bullish cup here and pull up, well, now you're talking. If you see this, and like it's already in this range, so we could say right here, if it could have come up here and makes a cup here and then pulls up, you got a chance. It's just, we're looking, I think this could be a bear trap setting up, but there's no real way to tell. There's not. Speculation. It's all speculation at this point. But XRP doesn't appear to be ready to fall farther. Not like a big drop. What I'm saying is we're messed up in the EMA lines right now. They're out of whack. They're out of whack. We need a back test. Maybe it'll come up here to 36.77, get rejected here in a critical resistance area, and make it a little bit easier just for it to drop. But I mean, without a bunch of volume, eventually this is going to fall through. I did see that as well. That is something we were going to cover in a little bit, you son of a... No. But yeah, Elon Musk did sell a lot of Bitcoin. That came out about an hour and a half ago. So, whether that's true or speculation, you know, that's a lot. Tanya bought 20,000 XL investment. Oh, yeah. I don't know where you bought it at, though. Hopefully you got a little bit of room here. No problem, FC Top Gun. I tried. For some reason, I keep yawning. Yep. C-dubs, that's what I can't decipher yet. I don't know. Because to me, the people that have reported are all fudsters. So... Bitcoin recovers after falling on news Tesla sold 75% of its holdings. Bitcoin shoots up above. So this is the story everybody's circulating right now. Bitcoin recovers after falling on news Tesla sold 75% of its holdings. Bitcoin rebounded after a brief sell-off, did it? I guess it did. I guess it did. Because it was all the way down to 22,900 just a few hours ago. So I guess it recovered a little bit. Bitcoin rebounded after a brief sell-off late on Wednesday, sparked by news that electric car maker Tesla had sold about 75% of its holdings of the virtual token. Tesla's chief executive Elon Musk cited concerns about his company's overall liquidity as the reason for the sale. The world's largest cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, was last up 1.04% at 23,494.57 after sliding as much as 0.5% to 23,268.92. On the news, Tesla sold $936 million worth of Bitcoin in the second quarter, more than a year after the company bought $1.5 billion of the cryptocurrency at the peak of its massive growth and popularity. Musk has been an outspoken supporter of cryptocurrencies. What is this? Bitcoin are overrated in my opinion. Don't pen. Why would you have to leave, Marlon? I 100% agree with you. Bitcoin's overrated. 100%. You'd appreciate my YouTube channel. Look at my Twitch homepage and join the almost 12,000 subscribers on YouTube. We're getting so close. So close. I think we're about 135 away from 12,000. Tesla sold $936 million worth of Bitcoin in the second quarter, more than a year after the company bought $1.5 billion of the cryptocurrency at its peak, or at the peak of its massive growth and popularity. Musk has been an outspoken supporter of cryptocurrencies. His statements on the future of crypto and disclosure about his ownership of digital assets often boost the price of the Dogecoin and Bitcoin. On Tesla's earnings call, Musk said the primary reason for the sale was uncertainty about lockdowns due to the blah, blah, blah in China, which have created production challenges for the company. It was important for us to maximize our cash position, Musk said. We are certainly open to increasing our Bitcoin holdings. Bitcoin holdings in the future, so this should not be taken as some verdict on Bitcoin. It's just that we are concerned about overall liquidity for the company. Musk added that Tesla did not sell any of its Dogecoin, a meme-based cryptocurrency that he has touted. Tesla accepted Bitcoin as payment for less than 2 months before stopping in May 2021. Musk has said the company could resume accepting Bitcoin once it conducts due diligence on the amount of renewable energy it takes to mine the currency. Bitcoin has been in recovery mode so far this week, in line with the stock market, as investors appear more optimistic about the U.S. Federal Reserve's ability to rein in decades-high inflation, which that is the biggest... That's the most ridiculous statement I've heard. I mean, I hear it all the time. They can't rein in inflation. It's already over. And then the other breaking news story that I have to share with you guys before we go back to the charts. Ready? This is the big deal. Bitcoin now braced for a black swan shock as Mt. Gox prepares to repay 142,000 Bitcoin. Not $142,000. Oh, no. 142,000 Bitcoin. So, let me take out my hand and the phone real quick. So, let me get my calculator out. 142,000 Bitcoin times, we'll give them the benefit of the doubt and say it's worth 22,000 when they decide to do it. That's only, 3,124,000,000. That's all. 3.1 billion they gotta sell. What happens when they sell $3.1 billion worth of Bitcoin, ladies and gentlemen? In the comments, what happens? If Mt. Gox repays 142,000 Bitcoin, that's $3.1 billion they're going to have to fucking sell. Forget the bear trap. They would have cut the bear's fucking head off and pulled it down by the balls. I'm being dead serious. This would be massive. If no one's in the wood and the tree falls, do you hear it? In Bitcoin's case, everybody would feel it, even if nobody's around. That would be my estimated target. So let's read this. So Bitcoin now braced for a black swan shock as Mt. Gox prepares to repay 142,000 Bitcoin, worth more than $3.1 billion if we're basing it at 22K. After managing to shake off a brutal H1 perching above 20,000, Bitcoin now faces a new test. According to the letter sent to Mt. Gox creditors last week, The Rehabilitation Trustee hinted at commencing the repayment of about 142,000 Bitcoin as early as next month, igniting fears of a brutal sell-off. And what's coming at the end of this month? I'm predicting likely a 100% basis point rate hike in the USA. A whole 1 percentage point rate hike. That in itself would be catastrophic for crypto. The rest of the world would look at it the wrong way. The US would inflate the dollar to about 120. And that would be the end of the dollar. And then it would come crashing back to reality after the capitulation. Got to make us not look bad to the rest of the world, after all. The Rehabilitation Trustee is currently preparing to make repayments in accordance with the approved rehabilitation plan, of which confirmation order of the Tokyo District Court was made final and binding on November 16, 2021. Read the letter. Ready? This is huge. I read this earlier and I was saving it for this because I'll release it to my YouTube in a segment. Creditors must register online and choose their preferred compensation method, including whether they would like to be compensated in USD, Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash. Mr. Nobuaki Kobayashi, no relation to the Jersey hot dog eating champion, the Coney Island champion, Kobayashi. The court-appointed rehabilitation, or maybe it is, we don't know. Court-appointed rehabilitation trustee also set out some rules, including the decision to set up a restriction reference period from approximately the end of August this year until all or part of the repayments made as initial repayments is completed to ensure safe and secure repayments. Following the latest correspondence, the repayments could begin in late August. Look at that. That's not even a month. That's about a month away. 30 days. 30 days away. In late August to enable full compensation before the year ends. Whereas this is a reprieve to Mt. Gox creditors, some crypto investors are now worried this could trigger a bloody sell-off for Bitcoin, worsening the already bleak situation. The Mt. Gox rehabilitation plan was approved in 2018 before being confirmed in October 2021. Out of the 850,000 Bitcoin lost in the 2014 hack, the exchange stated that it had recovered 200,000 Bitcoin. However, some Bitcoin, including a 24,658 Bitcoin stash in 2018, was sold, bringing the balance sheet to about 142,000 Bitcoin, 3.3 billion. I'm not making that shit up. As seen in the chart below, following the 2018 sale, Bitcoin dropped by over 70% before being thrust into a consolidation that ran into late 2020. Should this scenario recur, Bitcoin could drop below 10,000 or worse. And who's been predicting this since 68,000? Everybody can jump on board now, but the bottom line is I'm not broke. I got all my funds still and then some. So do you if you've been paying attention. That is a very difficult situation. As a question about H-bar, we would have to deep dive and see if it's about to fall off, but I would not have bought long there. Not saying it can't go up in the immediate short term, but at the end of the days here, anybody who bought before this pump and just long holds is going to get slaughtered. The only thing you have working for you is we're already down 85% compared to being, you know, the only thing you got working for you right now is H-bar's already been sliced in 3 quarters. At least you only got one of the last quarters, not the top 3. As seen, blah, blah, blah. Bitcoin dropped by 10,000 or worse. However, most believe that the Mt. Gox FUD may not have a lasting effect. I love how they call it FUD. How? If they sell $3.3 billion in Bitcoin, there's no fucking FUD. Bitcoin's going to... We're going to have the historic crash of a lifetime. Many creditors who waited are long-term and won't sell. Gox coins are not as big of a deal as most think. I don't think they will flood/wreck the market, said Miles Dusher. Of course, he's a douche. A crypto investor. According to data from Glassnode, Gox coins represent only 0.72% of Bitcoin's total supply and 1.03% of the long-term holder supply, which complements the idea that a sell-off is unlikely to... $3.3 billion in Bitcoin. I don't care what percentage it is. That shit's crashing the market. I mean, what the hell are they trying to... I think the only FUD here is them trying to spin that this wouldn't crash the whole market. Moreover, Bitcoin has managed to weather the DeFi and Bitcoin miners induced sell storm. Have they? Has it? I'm sorry, Bitcoin's not at 60,000 or 65 or 50. Am I in a parallel universe where 24K is good? Bitcoin was just almost 3 times as valuable as that. It didn't weather shit. It's a bear market bounce. Nothing more, nothing less. I'll see you guys at the bottom. Reducing the possibility of a lasting shock following an opportunity for Ethereum to do the flippening with the merge nearing. Yep, exactly, Token Jesus. That's exactly what I hate about these articles. Unless it's somebody reading it that is paying attention and actually is telling the truth, what would most people on YouTube or Twitch say? Oh, well, it's not going to have a big effect on the market. What do you mean? How? That whole article was great until the last 5 minutes of it. The last quarter of it sucked. Because it went FUD. It would be over, Bailey. Yep. That's a great thing, Dancing Jesus. 100% a good thing for GPL to have a split. That's why I held on. I did. I sold some, rebought some back at, well, it wasn't the greatest of buys, but at around 12 cents, and I'm down about 30% from there, from the ones I bought back. But I mean, I bought 9,000 of them so cheap, I'm not going to be mad about it. Oh, it was so cheap. I think I spent like $900 or whatever it was for 9,000 shares. Back in the day, 9,000 shares when I would have bought them would have cost me $9,000, so 90% savings. And now with the news of the split, I'm not mad. I'll take whatever it turns out to be. But yeah, this is, there's a lot of things going on right now. Everybody really needs to pay attention because, like in the world economy looks like hell. Look at a lot of the markets too around the world, everything's getting a little bit higher. But inflation is getting even worse. Even though they're trying to show like these little small rallies. So, it's a great time. Great time to be covering all this. But, as far as H-bar, it's so hard to say, oh, just sell it right here. Because what if it does hold here? And then it has a small little rally back up here before it drops. But, to me, you may be looking at a right arm. And if it drops, because once, I always tell you guys, when it's in a rising channel, which is what it was, once they break the rising support, it's over. You come back down to the bottom, and we don't know if that's here or here. I would say it's pretty guaranteed we're probably coming down here. We already broke the 200-day. We're using it as resistance. We're in some trouble here, my friend. But I'm not a financial advisor, so if you're asking me if you should sell, I have no fucking idea, because I'm just some dumb fuck on Twitch. I'm just some dummy on YouTube. Well, typically on YouTube, but I come on here for an hour a day now. Because I don't like to go live on YouTube because their platform is terrible for going live. Good for updates. May do some more on YouTube eventually. Now that they're trying to get their act together. Hold on, guys. I'm going to try my sound real quick. Okay, he's okay. Julie's in there with him. She's washing him up. I heard him like kind of whimper. I thought he like hurt himself or something. All right. So, but for H-bar, your overwhelming factor is you, by all necessary, whatever power you have, you need this to hold. If you don't want this to absolutely implode, so if you're asking me, I mean, you can either sell it now or wait for it to break that pivot point right there at 692. But if you hold it after 692, if it comes down here, you're probably coming way. I mean, but hey, there's a chance it could still go up. They love to manipulate this market. This looks like it could be a retest. And in the daily, if it does hold, you'd come down to about here. Somewhere in the 6.667 area. And then you'd have to bounce out of it. Otherwise, it's over. These are extended bear flags, and I'm not hid from what it is. It just sucks. We can't go anywhere. We can't go that far. We're too cheap already. We can't go negative. Like, look how cheap this is going to be. We're getting cheap. Imagine if you were, just hold it. Just Mr. Longhold in 2021, remember? Or 2021 or 2022. But imagine, just buy it and hold it. Oh, yeah. Great. That's some good advice. You're down 87.4%. I would rather have not bought it and hold it and bought 87.42% cheaper. And then, here's the secret, guys. You're down 87.42%. What they're not telling you is you have to have an 87.2% rise for you to come back. But if we buy it here, it's not an 87.2% rise. For you, you're waiting for 87.2%. How much did we make while you got your 82% back? It's 737% for us. Only 87% for you. So when they say long hold, lick my balls. I'll long hold it from 737% for me, but I'm not doing it from the top of a bull market. That's what I'm telling you. Even if it does go down from here, it's not like you bought it from way down there, or 737% ago if you put it in perspective. The problem is you could still drop another 90%. You know, we really could. And then, this is why it could be so sweet for us who didn't lose all of our money on the way down. Imagine from here now. Look at the percentages, guys. Look how big of a game that is. If this came down to 0.00, that's 7,000%. 7,000% to get back to all-time highs. But they want you to long hold it. Sure, for them it'd be a 90-something% regain, 96%, 94%. To us, it's 7,334%. Perspective. XRP. They wanted you to long hold it all last year. Long hold it. Long hold it. Long hold it. Let's say, for God's sake, long hold it. Okay? Okay. We're long holding it. Right now, we're down 80%. Yes, we have to go back up 80%, but if you didn't long hold XRP, we'll just say it's at right around there. For us coming back up, guys, it's not 80%. We're making 450%. Now, if XRP comes down even lower, and now they're down 95% because XRP comes way down to a miracle target. They got to come up 95%. Look how big of a gain if XRP goes to 11 cents. We would be making back to $1.98. Just $1.98, that's $1,600. That's why I said you don't get rich in bull markets by buying tops and make 30, 50%. So all the people that dicked around making all that money is the problem. For me, I wanted to buy it at the bottom so I could make these life-changing gains. That's how I do it. I don't waste my time in between. Yes, it's painful when you have to wait day after day, month after month, and sometimes year after year. But we're getting there, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting there. Patience is everything. Now imagine XRP has a miracle. We hit the miracle. Everything collapses. Mount Gox has to sell. And we come down to my unbelievable, down on my knees, praying to God, 0.009 target. I acknowledge it probably won't grace us with this number, but it's a possibility, and I'll show you why after. If we somehow came down here, guys, everybody who would be down 95, 96, 97%, just hold. Just hold. We didn't just hold. And let's say we bought $3,500 worth of XRP right there at 0.009. Okay? So, 3,500 times 19,738%. big difference. If you made 19,738% on XRP, you would make on 3,500. Well, let's just show you what 1,000% is to put it in perspective. If you went, well, that's a lot, 19,000. Shit, that'd be like $69 million. That'd be like $69 million on 3,500 if it went up that much. 19,378. That's $67 million if you played that right. $3,500 at 009, and you could make $60 million if it goes up 20,000%. Which it can, because we already know it's going back to $1.98 and then some. So that's why. Well, yeah, if there's an exchange, that's one of the problems. But that's why I always tell you, don't buy it. Don't use a lending platform. Use a trading platform. Why I like BitGet. They don't lend money. You can't even withdraw money off it. So it's going to be there. You're going to be able to hold your crypto somewhere. It's just, how the hell do you withdraw it? For now, Uphold's my answer. So I worked that game good between the two of them. I shake out the crypto market, and then Uphold's my piggy bank. I trade on BitGet, long hold on Uphold. Yes, KuCoin is 100% a lending platform. Any platform that offers staking is theoretically a lending platform. That's why I was pissed off at Uphold for offering small staking on certain coins. Like a small group of coins, but they're still offering 19% for Kava. They're offering 10.5% for Polygon. And the only reason I know that is because I put $200 of each. And I said I'm going to stake it and see. Or I put 300 of Kava and 200. And this is a long time ago. Well, not a long time ago. About a month ago. Because I wanted to see how much I would have left at the bottom of a bear market. So I already could see the scam of staking. With a small amount of money.